July 17th, 2023 at 14:54 hours. Your time.
No, that's okay. Good.
I'm sure you're slammed.
Huh?
So I'm sure you're
yes,
slammed.
Public records request. Public records request.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Years worth of videos and stuff. Just stupid.
I'm sorry to take up your time,
Okay.
but there's a lot of information that's come out that's, you know, we don't necessarily know what's true or what's not true.
Okay.
So I'm hoping you can kind of give me your piece of it and
Okay.
what has actually happened and what kind of timeline you can give me.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I guess let's
Will
start.
it be recorded?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So let's start initially by, what's the structure over there? Just so I'm clear on that.
You mean like who works for who?
Yeah.
So we have Magistrate Graber down in courtroom A, with Tommy Lefker as his bailiff. You got Judge Kramig and Joe Allison as his bailiff. Judge Beckman and John. Then you've got me, Allie, Courtney, the two assistants, which they rotate between like a group of judges,
Okay.
which I can tell you more about that. Magistrate Bennett, me, Mindy and Lon are out front, and then Judge Nagel and Mike Henderson are down the courtroom E.
Okay.
So right now, Courtney covers Judge Judge Nagel, Magistrate Graver. Allie has the B's, Bennett and Beckman. She is their administrative assistant. And they rotate when our schedule rotates. So our schedule rotates quarterly. So it'll be that way until September, I think, which that's going to change.
As far as what judge or what magistrate they're the administrative assistant of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who actually do they report to?
They report, I'm their supervisor.
And that is Allie and Courtney?
Yes, and Mindy and Lana.
I'm gonna write their names
Yeah,
down,
that's
because I'm
fine.
not familiar with everybody
Yeah.
anymore. I've kinda lost that touch.
Yeah. Allie, Courtney, Mindy, and Lana. I am their supervisor.
Lana,
Mhm.
L-A-N-A?
Yeah.
What's their last names?
Lana Stalteri. She's Paige in the computer if you looked her up by phone. Mindy Menzel.
How do you spell that?
Mentzel.
Okay.
Lana Stalteri's Stalterer. I think. Stalteri. Yeah.
Okay.
Courtney Nelson. Allison Kersker, Kersker. I talk real fast, Nick, I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. No, that's all right. And honestly, I don't know the inner working dynamics of everything anymore, so I just wanna make sure I'm clear on it.
Okay.
Hang on one second.
Sure.
Okay. So obviously, the information is involving Allison.
Correct.
Is her peer these other three?
Her peer, you mean
Yeah,
her
as
coworker?
far as coworkers or
Yes.
similar jobs?
Yes,
all that?
yes.
Okay. Do all four of them work for essentially all the judges and magistrates?
Yes.
Is that the idea?
Yes, yes,
But they report to you?
yes,
Does that include schedules, payroll,
yes,
all that stuff?
yes, yes.
Okay. Does anybody else have input into that, or is it strictly you?
Well, the three judges,
Okay.
and, I mean, Judge Nagel is the administrative judge. So, like, he signs off on my payroll, he signs off on the office invoices. But as far as personnel matters, as far as if job duties were changed, they all three would.
Have an input?
Yeah,
But it would be
Yeah.
collective
Yes.
decision-making, it wouldn't
Yes.
be one particular person?
correct.
Okay, right. So with that in mind, how did this information become known, or how did you become involved in what all this is going on with Ally?
Wednesday, June 28th. Only reason why I remember the date is because it's my dad's birthday and it's
Okay.
my anniversary, it's my 33rd working anniversary.
Okay. June 20, or July 28th?
June.
June 20th.
Wednesday. It was a Wednesday.
Oh, yes, sorry. Okay, I'm
I
listening.
was coming to work. Allie called me. It was between 6:30 and 7.
In the morning.
Yeah,
Got it.
Allie calls my cell phone. She sounds like she's maybe been crying. She asked me if she can use her personal day. And I said, sure. And I said, are you okay? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay. I said, it's fine. And we hung up. So then I got to work.
But she didn't give any reason.
She didn't give me a reason.
Okay.
Allie is not, she's worked there 2.5 years. She's been sick like once. She doesn't call off. Allie's not emotional. She's not dramatic. She's like rock solid, good employee. And so I got to work and I thought, and I try not to get in the girls' business. Like I'm not super, in their business. And so I got to work and I thought, I'm gonna text her because we had been talking because we all watched Dateline and both of us were going hiking at different times. And so we were laughing about how we had a code word and our code word was gonna be pineapple if we needed something. So,
You and?
Allie.
Allie, okay.
So when I got to work, I texted her and I said, hey, I'm not trying to be in your business. I said, I just want to check and make sure you're okay. And I said, what's our code word? Or what's the code word? And nothing. She never texted back. So the morning went on. So that same morning, a little before 9, Joe Allison calls me. Can I bring some bond forms down to Judge Kramig's courtroom? Sure.
Who's Joe Allison?
Joe is Judge Kramig's bailiff.
Okay.
This is kind of a tangent side story, but I go down the courtroom. That's when the big scuffle with that, Morgan's his last name, called him Taekwondo. It's like Taekwondo Morgan. Judge, you probably didn't know if you didn't hear about it. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm standing at the back door. Judge Crane, I walk in the courtroom. He's like a smaller black guy standing there. Pavia is behind him. Clearly he's going to take him into custody. And Judge Kramig's talking to him. And Judge, like, your bond's $100,000. The kid's like, what, my kids. And so John gets like one cuff on him.
Oh, this is where John's Apple Watch got broke?
Yes.
I
Yes.
read that report. I know what you're referring to.
So that whole thing's going on. So then I go back, that whole cluster happens. I go back down, and it's a little bit later, maybe, because I remember telling Courtney, like, this is all before 9 o'clock in the morning. So maybe about 10 o'clock, Courtney's like, hey, she's like, I text Allie about the whole scuffle thing, and she's like, she never texts me back. Magistrate Bennett's like, hey, I text her, she didn't text me back either. And I'm like,
which is abnormal.
Which is abnormal.
Okay.
Because, like, especially the scuffle in the courtroom, she would text back. And on top of that, Courtney, the girls had been talking about, I didn't know firsthand, just that she had been having marital problems. And Courtney's like, her husband's, Hunter, he's got a real bad temper. So in my mind, I'm thinking they've gotten into it about something, and he's blacked her eye or something. Is in my mind what I'm thinking. So I'm like, well, maybe I need to.
No history of that. You're just assuming.
No history.
I gotcha.
No history. I'm just going down the worst. So anyway, I'm like, maybe I should run over at lunch and check on her. So I mentioned to Walters. I said, should I? And he's like, well, what are you gonna do if she don't come to the door? What are you gonna do? And I was like, well, I'll look in the windows. He's like, So then.
Had you been to her house before? You knew where she lived? Or
No.
You just looked up her?
I just looked up her address.
I gotcha.
So, Judge Nagel come walking in, and they're like, what do you think, Judge Nagel? Judge Nagel's like, no. He's like, I wouldn't, He's like, but, you do what your gut tells you. And I'm like, okay. So Courtney's like, well, I'll ride with you over there. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go check on her lunch. It's super odd. Like, the whole thing was weird. So Courtney and I go to her house, Nick, and I walk up to the door, and then her husband's truck was there. I didn't see Allie's car.
This is still on Wednesday the 28th?
Still on Wednesday, around noon.
Okay.
I go up to the door, I knock on the door, Hunter comes to the door, and he's a tiny little feller. And I said, hey, can I see Allie for a second? He was like, she's not here. And I was like, oh, and he's like, it's really bad. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, she's been cheating on me. And I was like, oh, Hunter, I go, maybe I can't believe that, and he's like, no. He's like, she's been cheating on me with Judge Kramig. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, look, Hunter, I said, I'm not saying you're lying to me. I said, but I find that extremely hard to believe. Like, Nick, I am in shock. So I said, he's like, well, I got her on audio. And I said, okay. He goes, you want to hear it? I go, sure. So he goes back in the house, and he comes back out with, I guess, was his phone, and he starts playing it, and I can't half hear, anyway, but he's playing it, and he's like, no, and he gets to a part, and there's a little bit of echo.
Is it an audio or like a video with audio?
I don't know, because I didn't see the screen.
Okay. You're just listening to it.
I'm just listening to it, and it kind of sounded a little echoey. Like, I've never been in their house, but like if I was in my living room, it'd be a little echoey because the ceiling's high. Mm-hmm. And she's talking to a girlfriend, and they're kind of giggling, and she says something about the judge's closet, and I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to hear anymore. And I said, okay, Hunter, so I'm good. And he's like, well, me and my mom are coming down there tomorrow. And I said, coming down where tomorrow? And he's like, well, I'm going to file for divorce. I said, oh, you're going to domestic relations? And he said, yeah. And I go, okay. So I get back in the car. Courtney's like, what is? She's like, your face. And so
Courtney didn't go up to the door with you.
No.
She just sat in the car?
She sat in the car. But my Jeep window was rolled down, and she said she could tell by my face, like, something
shock
bad is,
sure.
Yeah. So and she was leaving that afternoon and that next day, and I said, listen, we're going to go back to work. I said, don't say anything about this until I talk to Judge Nagel. I said, because I don't know how this is going to be handled. So then we went back to work, and Courtney went in and got her stuff because she was leaving. And I come in the back door, and Judge Kramig called me. And he's like, hey, I need to talk to you. So I get down to his office, and he was like...
Before you got to Judge Nagel?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they had a meeting with a probation officer I knew at 12:45, I think it was. So my plan was to wait and talk to him, because by then it was probably 12:30 by then. I was going to talk to him right after.
What to 12:30 when you get back?
It was around 12:30 probably when I got back.
So you weren't out there long?
No.
Judge Kramig cutting in the hallway?
Coming hallway, having him in his office. And he was like, what do you know? And I said, I am not talking to you about this right now. And he asked me again, I need to know what you know. And I said, I'm not talking to you about this right now. And he's like, Stephanie, I have fucked my life up. And so I told him that I went to her house, what Hunter said. He's like, okay. So
Judge Kramig tells you this?
Yes. So we go to our meeting with the probation officer, and as soon as that was over, he and I and Judge Nagel sat down, and he told Judge Nagel.
Judge Kramig told Judge Nagel.
Yes.
Were you present in that meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you didn't have to tell Nagel yourself?
No.
Okay. Was this all on Wednesday?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever allude to the fact that you knew of this recording and all these other things, or did you even have to tell him?
I don't remember. I may have told him that Hunter had a recording.
Okay. Was it just the three of you in that room?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm taking notes just
No,
so
you're fine.
What happens after that meeting? Is there any conversation of what the next steps are going to be?
Yes, so then I think it was that same day, if not in the morning, Judge Nagel called the attorney that represents the judges.
Okay.
And then Judge Nagel talked to Judge Beckman at some point on Thursday, I believe it was. Then and they talked to attorneys on Thursday at the end of the day, because then Friday morning they told me that Linda Weber, the attorney for Linda was the attorney for the judges. She was going to call me, and she wanted me to ask Allie some questions. So Linda called me on Friday.
Linda Weber?
Weber, W-O-E-B-E-R. She's an attorney.
For them? Does
Yes.
that include you guys as well?
I think it's just the judges.
Okay, I got you.
And I had to ask her if it was consensual. Did anything happen in the courthouse? Was anybody else aware? Consensual, happened in the courthouse, anybody else aware? And did she still feel comfortable doing her job? And they were all what I thought they would be. Yes, it was consensual. Nothing happened in the courthouse. Nobody else knew. Yes, she felt comfortable doing her job. And that I told her if anything else changed with that she would let me know. And Allie said she would.
Okay.
So that was all on Friday.
When you had this meeting with Allie, that was the following day? Or you're saying it was?
That was on Friday. That was 2 days after.
Friday.
It was on Friday.
And you did that at Linda's direction?
Yes.
She said it was consensual?
Yes.
It was not at the courthouse?
Correct.
And what was the other one?
Nobody else knew about it.
Okay. All right.
And that she felt comfortable continuing to do her job.
Okay. Let's go back to the meeting that you were present in with the two judges.
Okay.
When you said Judge Kramig told Judge Nagel,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly did he tell him?
He said that they had had an inappropriate, non-physical relationship.
Did he allude to what exactly that meant, or?
I don't remember him saying specifics.
He didn't give specifics. Okay.
I don't recall him giving specifics.
How long do you think that meeting was?
Less than an hour.
Okay. But he never alluded to consensual affair or anything?
He said it was consensual.
But when you said, sorry,
No, you're
maybe
fine.
I misunderstood you. It was an inappropriate, non-physical?
Correct.
Meaning he is telling Judge Nagel that nothing happened?
Nothing physical happened, yes.
Gotcha. But that, when you say it was consensual, that's in reference to whatever this
Yes. Emotional.
communication or
Yes.
whatever it was?
This emotional affair was, yes.
At that point, had you told him what Hunter had told you?
I believe so.
Okay. So he knew what the allegations were?
Yes.
I'm not trying to confuse you.
No, I know. I probably told him when I first sat down with him, when I first came back, I probably said then that Hunter had him on recording.
Okay. So you met with Judge Kramig when you first come back from Hunter's house.
Yes.
Then you go to this probation meeting.
Yeah.
Completely
It's 15
unrelated.
minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes. Meet with a new probation officer was getting hired.
Is it immediately after that meeting that
Yes.
you guys go down to Nagel's
Yes.
courtroom?
We were in
Or
his jury
chambers,
room. We
sorry.
walked immediately right across the hall.
Okay. So in that 15-minute time frame, Judge Kramig would have had some sort of working knowledge that it was known that this was coming to light.
Yes.
Okay. But in the meeting with Judge Nagel, he's only saying that it was an inappropriate, non-physical.
Physical. Yes, correct.
Gotcha.
Yes.
All right. So that's Wednesday. Does anything happen
Yesterday,
continuing on
Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Judge Nagel made a phone call. I was not there for it.
Okay.
He made a phone call to Lisa Zering, I think is her name, and he either talked to her or Linda Weber.
Who is Lisa Zering?
She's an attorney with Linda Weber. That
Okay.
They both represent the attorney or the judges.
So he reached out to their representation
Yes.
for guidance, I'm assuming.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And then that was on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, there was a call with Judge Nagel and Judge Beckman, both with that Linda Weber, maybe Lisa Zering. I wasn't there for that. And then out of that meeting is when they said, hey, Linda's going to reach out to you tomorrow morning, which was Friday morning, to talk to Allie.
Okay. Just for the, am I holding you up from
No.
something? Oh, so just for the sakes of me trying to keep a chronological order, Wednesday after this meeting, is it just
The
kind
initial.
of, is your involvement done for the night, or?
Yeah.
Okay, so you leave Judge Nagel's chambers or the jury room or whatever, and you just go home for the day, or how's that work?
Yes. I don't remember what I did that
Sorry.
night.
I'm certainly not trying to ask for specifics, I'm just trying
Yeah.
to keep it.
No, yeah. Just went home.
Thursday morning, you
Thursday.
know, Judge Beckman, Judge Nagel meet up,
Mhm.
they call their representation.
They had like an appointment to call her that afternoon, I think. She wasn't available in the morning, I don't think.
As far as Allie,
No, I'm talking about talking to the attorneys
Oh,
on Thursday
okay.
afternoon.
what happens Thursday for you and or Allie and or employees of the courthouse? Is anything leaked
No.
out?
No.
Okay.
Allie come in.
She did go to work on
She
Thursday?
did come back on Thursday.
Okay,
I asked her if she was all right, and she said yes. And she just kind of stayed in her office and did her work on Thursday. And then Thursday afternoon, they talked to the attorney, and then they told me that at the end of that, I don't know if they told me the day Thursday or they told me Friday morning that Linda Weber would be reaching out to me Friday morning.
okay.
And then I talked to Allie Friday.
So for the most part, is Thursday normal business?
Mhm.
Okay. And that goes with,
Oh, no.
okay,
Hunter's mom come in.
okay.
I forgot.
Did you talk to her?
I did. I was bailiffing for Judge Kramig because he had a docket that day. And Allie come down and got me and said, one of the girls at the clerk's office is back here looking for you because Hunter's mom is out here and wants to talk to Judge Nagel. So then I went down and asked Judge Nagel. Go ahead.
Hold on, did Allie know that you knew Thursday morning?
Oh, yeah.
Because Hunter told her, or did you and her ever talk about it?
No, her and I had not talked. So
Okay.
Hunter had to have told her.
So when she comes in Thursday morning, is there a conversation, hey, I know you know, or?
No, I did not, because I'm her supervisor. I just said, asked her if she was okay, and she said she was, and that was it. I didn't talk to her about it.
So she goes to normal work, you start bailing for Judge Kramig.
Because Joe hurt his back. Joe's out with back trouble.
Gotcha. And Hunter's mom, do you know her name?
Christy with a K. With a K, let's see.
Okay.
Christy with Kimmons. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that's parentheses. K-I-M-M, I think it's O-N-S, Kimmons.
When you say she showed up, what does that mean?
It means when the clerks come back and said, hey, there's a lady out here who wants to talk to Judge Nagel about some relationship between Judge Kramig and Allie.
So she flat told one of the clerks.
Yes.
Do you remember which clerk that was?
The clerk that came back was Katie. She's new. Caitlin French, I think. French is her last name. She goes by Katie. Katie's the one that came back to get me.
And when Christy went to ask for Judge Nagel, that's at the windows?
Yeah, those straight ahead, the
Okay.
first windows. So then I went down and asked Judge Nagel, and he was like, the attorneys had advised us not to say anything. So I went out and I got her name and her number, and I said that I would talk to Judge Nagel.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't saying anything to her.
Sure.
And she said that she would be back the next day if she hadn't heard anything from us. I just said okay, and she left. But she wanted to know, she was not very happy, and she wanted to know what was being done about their jobs. So.
Okay. All right, so you're bailiff, and what happens throughout the day? Anything significant?
No, that was it. I'm trying to think. Yeah,
All right, take your time.
I think that was it on that Thursday.
Okay, but then later on Thursday, Judge Nagel, Judge Beckman talk to their attorney. They tell you.
Mm-hmm. They either told me the end of that day or Friday morning that Linda Weber would be calling me.
Okay, and when did Linda call you? Was it Friday morning?
Yes. She sent me an email and said to call her.
Okay. And that's Linda, not the other lady?
Correct. Yeah, I've never talked to Lisa Zering. I had talked to Linda Weber in the past about like working on her handbook stuff, so I kind of knew who she was.
And that's when she gave you the 3 direct questions you need to ask?
4, yeah.
4. And did you do those on Friday?
Yes, as soon as I hung up the phone with her, I went to Allie's office and shut the door and said, I have some questions to ask you. And
Now, how's Allie's office? Is it like
it's
a
right,
room of its own? Or
yeah, it's right across from mine.
So it's not the judge's chambers? Or
No, we're all in that little hallway kind of directly behind courtroom D. There's a hallway back there, and there's Courtney, me, Magistrate Bennett, and Allie. There's 4 offices in like a little.
And it's her own individual office, so
Yes.
privacy is...
Yes. Now, when Bill Edwards is here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, when he bailiffs, he puts his jacket in there. It's kind of like a double office, but he's not in there.
But privacy for her would be no issue?
Correct.
Okay, all right. So Friday, you go in there first thing in the morning?
Yeah, probably before 10.
All right, and I'm going to write these down now. You said, was it consensual?
Correct.
And she says yes.
Correct.
Did she allude to what occurred?
No.
Have you ever spoken to her about what occurred?
No.
Okay. And in the courthouse?
Did anything physical happen in the courthouse? No.
Okay. What were the other?
Did anybody else know about it?
Mm-hmm.
No. And do you feel comfortable continuing to do your job?
Yes.
Yes.
My chicken scratch, sorry.
Okay, mine's terrible too.
Did she talk about things with Hunter and how she was having personal issues?
No, we never discussed that.
So this essentially was a 2-minute conversation?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has occurred since that date that you were involved with?
At some point, I don't remember the date, it was probably Monday or Tuesday that following week, Judge Beckman, Judge Nagel, and I sat down with Allie to talk about her job, about how it was safe, that she was not,
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't remember what all else we talked about, but we did sit down and had a conversation with her.
Okay. During this conversation, was there any kind of conversation about guidance of who she should or should not tell, or?
No, like, I had told her previously, like, don't talk to the clerks about this, like, as far as gossip stuff goes, do you mean?
I guess just in general, was there ever any conversation about who she should or should not talk to, or what could or could not happen within the job, anything like that?
No, I mean, it was made crystal clear that she would not be losing her job, that her job was safe.
And that was crystal clear from the judges?
Yes, from the judges.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And as far as I had told her, probably that Thursday she come back, don't be talking to the clerks about this. Like, as far as gossip goes.
Gossiping.
Yeah.
Okay. Was she ever provided like a point of contact to stay in touch with, or was that always considered to be you?
It was always considered to be me, and I checked on her. You know, there was a couple times in the evening because she's still staying at the house with Hunter. So I said, listen, I'm gonna text you and ask you if you're watching Young Sheldon, just to, in case I thought maybe he had her phone or something.
Okay.
And so, so I did try to stay in touch with her. Just told her to let me know everything's okay.
Did she ever allude to any issues with Hunter, or it was just the concern because he found out about this?
Just the concern because he found out about that.
You had said something earlier about Hunter abusing her. Where did that come from?
No, she had apparently talked to some of the other girls in the office just about having marital problems.
Oh, okay.
There was never any talk of
Gotcha.
physical abuse or
I gotcha.
nothing like that. Just that he had a temper.
So, in that meeting with the two judges and her, is there ever any promises made about not disclosing anything?
No.
Nothing like that?
No. Like,
other jobs,
No.
living arrangements?
no.
Nothing like that?
No. Switching jobs, moving her somewhere, that was never, ever discussed.
Okay. Any gratuity or gifts
No.
or apartments or
No.
houses?
No.
Nothing of that nature?
No. Nothing.
Okay. Beyond this Monday or Tuesday, whenever this meeting occurred, did anything else happen that day? Or is it just back to business as normal?
As far as I recall, it was just back to business as normal.
Now, I don't know,
Now that following, so let me take it back, because that following Monday we weren't there because we only had bond hearings. It was the 3rd of July. So this had to have been Wednesday. This had to have been Wednesday.
Holiday.
Yeah, because the 4th was on Tuesday, so that had to have been Wednesday. Sorry.
Okay. Is this whole time Judge Kramig just doing his normal docket?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that still going on? I don't even know.
Yes. Now, he was on vacation. He and I were both on vacation last week. Not together. Pre-scheduled a long time ago. It just happened to fall.
I gotcha.
So.
Have you had any additional conversation with Judge Kramig about any of this?
Not specifically the situation. Like I told him there was some public records. I told him we had a public records request, but not anything dealing specifically with Allie.
Okay, and is it just notifications, or is there more conversation about it, or?
He would call and say, is anything what's up? And I'd be like, we got a public records request.
Any specific request on his end to have you do anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
As far as the attorney guidance for you, does that fall under Lisa Zarings and those?
Lisa
well?
Weber.
Do you?
I mean, I don't know that she represents me personally. She represents the judges.
I gotcha. Okay. I have a couple follow-up questions I'm going to ask you, but I'm trying to stick to this timeline here. So this is Wednesday the 5th.
Correct.
What goes on after that? Involving this, I guess.
I don't think anything. My first records request I got was from Channel 5, and I would have to.
Do you know how they became aware?
Oh, back up. I'm sorry. On Friday, before 4th of July, I was off half a day. On Monday, when I went into work bond hearings, I had a voicemail from Hunter's mom saying if somebody does not call Hunter by 2:30 on Friday, which is done past, we are going to the media. So it was done and gone. So then on 4th of July, Allie saw an email from where his mom had sent an email to the Clermont Sun.
Say that again.
On 4th of July,
Allie, go ahead.
Allie saw an email. I don't know if it was on an iPad, I don't know what it was on, a computer or something, that it was an email where his mom had sent an email to the Clermont Sun.
She saw this at her house or just?
I think it was at her house.
Okay.
I don't know where she saw it.
And how do you know that?
Because Allie had sent it to Judge Beckman.
A copy of the letter?
Yeah, it was like a picture, a screenshot.
Okay. Anything happened with that?
No, nothing happened. So then that was on Tuesday the 4th. So then by, I think it was, I'd have to look at my email, Thursday, I think it was Thursday, I got the records request from Channel 5, Jatira McGee, because that Friday, I stayed till 4:30 to get the records request done, and then I told her that I would be on vacation the following week.
And when you say records request, what were they looking for on that date? This is what, the 7th, 6th?
Yeah, I would have to go back and look. I know they wanted calendars, schedules, and emails for both of them, for me, Judge Beckman, Judge Nagel, and Courtney Allison. And it was, I think, June 1st through July 3rd. I'd have to look at the records request.
Okay, so outside of obviously this all just kind of leaking out and becoming public and doing your normal job, has anything else happened involving this?
Channel 19 was there. Then we got records requests from Bill Thomas from Channel 19.
Have you had any additional meetings about it yourself?
Additional meetings
With
about?
the judges or?
No.
Okay.
And then Channel 19 was there this morning at the courthouse. One comment and one in their records, which I told them I was working on.
Back to the original, when Judge Kramig's talking and he says something to the effects of, I fucked my life up or something. Was there ever any follow-up conversation on that, or
No.
that was just kind of his way of breaking it to you?
Yeah, just because I was pissed.
Has he ever tried to confide in you just because he knows you know and he's looking for somebody to talk to, or?
No, not really.
Is that even a relationship that you guys could do that on a normal basis before all this happens? Like personal lives and stuff like that?
No, I mean, I don't really chit-chat about my personal life too much. I mean, he asks how my stepdaughter is and, talk about, because his oldest Spencer is the same age as Sterling kind of thing. But it's not.
But as far as him saying, I fucked my life up, he wouldn't allude, or that conversation never went that far with you? Is that what you're saying?
Before that day, you mean?
Just
Or that?
when he found out you knew,
Mm-hmm.
and he said to you, I fucked my life up.
Yes, he said I've had an inappropriate, non-physical relationship with Allie.
Did he tell you that, or is that just in the meeting you had with Judge Nagel?
No, he said that when we were sitting there, and then he said it again with Judge Nagel.
But beyond those conversations, it never really alluded to what he was referring to?
No.
Or what specifics have happened?
Correct. No, I didn't ask.
I get it. So as far as you personally, your knowledge is, the conversation with Allie is, it didn't happen in the courthouse, and those things like
Yes,
that, right?
yes.
Beyond that, did you have any more actual conversations with Allie about the relationship?
We went to lunch one day. We've never had another conversation about her and Judge Kramig. I asked her, how her living situation was with Hunter, just because I was concerned. And she
Sure.
said she'd moved into the other bedroom and that, it was okay. Like, they're not speaking, I don't think, but she's not worried about staying there.
Okay. When and where did you guys go to lunch?
We
You
went
remember?
to the drive-thru Chick-fil-A.
The what?
Drive-thru Chick-fil-A in Milford.
In Milford, gotcha. What date was that? Was that the following week, or was that right when this all pops off?
I met License Bureau right before we went. I think that was on that Thursday.
Oh, the same week?
Yeah, that
So-
29th.
Okay. Is it just the two of you?
Yes.
Is that a normal lunch date for you, or is it just specifically to follow up with her on this and check on her personal life?
I mean, we have gone to lunch before. It's not, we hadn't for a while. I asked her specifically just to kind of check in with her to
I gotcha.
see how things were.
And it wasn't any conversation about judges?
No.
It was just her and Hunter and that
Yes.
situation?
Just to make sure she was okay.
Okay. Am I missing anything that your involvement is, or that your knowledge is?
No, I don't think so. I just trying to think. No, I think that's it.
Has Judge Nagel or Judge Beckman followed up with you anymore, or are they just kind of doing their own thing with it?
No, I don't. Like, I've had to go to him about let them both know about public records request.
Sure.
It's kind of like one of those things I just tell them, but there's not been any that I've been involved in any kind of
Conversations.
Yeah, no, like.
Okay. All right. Do you mind giving me a few minutes? Let me just make sure I've asked you anything I need to.
Yeah.
You want some drink,
No.
snack, anything like that?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Mike Green in our office buys like all kinds of snacks.
Good, thank you.
You change if you want coffee?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
All right, give me a sec.
Okay.
gotten everything? The only clarify one other thing real quick. Just trying to read my notes. This is why my handwriting is an issue. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I know you have other things going on too.
It's okay.
When you and I talked about any promises of other jobs or housing or anything like that, you say that's not an issue. And outside of you, do you know of anybody ever reaching out?
No.
Suggesting that to her?
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
I just want to clarify that one piece. I know you and I have known each other for a long time, so
Yeah.
this is clearly something you don't like, I don't like. People are put in the middle of this for things they don't want to be. But
Yeah.
at some point, moving forward, obviously I have to write a report of everything you and I've talked about. It's going to go somewhere. Is there anything you feel like you should tell me or you have knowledge of, or you think you want to get ahead of to tell me now? I don't want it like to be changed later on. I just want to
No.
make sure what you and I talk about is
Yeah.
locked in the way it is. And
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's nothing else.
All right. If you think of something
Mhm.
sooner than later, maybe
Yeah.
call me so I can add that in.
Yeah. No.
I'm certainly not suggesting you're hiding anything. I just want to make sure
No.
my report for your and I's conversation is maybe a one-stop shop and we don't
Yeah.
have to do a whole lot
No.
of changing.
It was never, ever discussed that she get a different job or move. That, I don't know where that came from.
Okay, all right. At one time, there was somewhat of a conversation of maybe raises or anything like that. I don't know if that's rumor mill or anything like. Has
No.
she been given any
No.
unusual raises
No.
or anything like that?
No. Her and
Would
Courtney, no.
raises come from you with, you said,
They wouldn't come from me. They would come from the 3 judges.
okay,
So, and her and Courtney Nelson were hired in at the same time. They make the exact same amount.
okay. So nothing, no favoritism
No.
towards her for anything?
No.
All right.
No.
All right.
No.
Steph, I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm sorry I kind of caught you off guard, but
No, that's all right.
things are popping up as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Call me if something pops
I
in
will.
your head.
I will. I'm sorry, I forgot about her mom coming in.
Oh, no, that's all right. All right.
No, that's it.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
If you think something, feel serious,
I will.
call me.
I will.
Awesome.
Thanks.
You sure you don't want a drink?
No, I'm sure.
I get it.
Okay, Ms. Montgomery? Okay. All right, that's fine. I'll call Ms. Montgomery.
ending time is 15:45.